So today I'm talking about relationships, because they are a massive source of stress, aren't they, in our lives? And a place where we can, I'm going to talk particularly about authenticity, and I think they're a place where we can really lose a sense of ourselves are our relationships, particularly those that are very close to us. And I guess, all of these things, what I really see about relationships is it's all founded in the past. I think I see in myself like how I am living out aspects of my relationships from the past through my relationships now. I had a really interesting awareness pop in about being listened to recently, and I have explored this with my own coach, with Clare Downham, and there was definitely the sense of not being listened to by various people in my life. And when I actually sat down, because at first I just thought it was my lovely fiancé Bruce, I didn't think he was listening to me, and he wouldn't mind me saying this, but because I know it's coming from me, and I would think he interrupted me a lot and didn't listen or picked his phone up when I was talking or whatever. But then when I actually, at one point it was all about him. It was like he just needed to behave differently. What he was doing was wrong. He's out of order because he's not listening to me properly, and he's disrespectful and rude and all the other things you can bring into play when you're talking about somebody not listening to you. And then I started to just see there was like a need in me, like a really strong need for me to be listened to by him. And then there was a little chink in the belief, a little sense of beginning to see that there was something going on for me rather than something going on for him. And then as I started to ponder it further, I really got a sense of there being lots of people in my life who don't listen to me. But what's really cool about that is that you can really start to see that that it's time to look inside, and what comes to mind for me when I think, what's my equivalent, is Byron Katie's questions when she turns things around is, to go from they're not listening to me to, perhaps I'm not listening to them, but probably mostly I'm not listening to myself. And as I'm beginning to see that, to be the truth rather than the truth to be all the other people aren't listening to me, some really interesting shifts are starting to happen, because I'm finding myself acting more from a place of, authenticity is the word, isn't it? Like seeing myself acting more from a place of listening to myself instead of, and when I say listen to myself, I don't mean listening to that rude voice in my head that has all sorts of unpleasant things to say about me and how good I am or how good I'm not or whatever else. I don't mean that. I mean really listening to myself, listening to, how to look after myself better, how to act how I want to act in my business, and how I make the most of my business and my life. So I think that our relationships really, and if we really want to be authentic in our relationships, I just really have to show you how these squirrels are in London. Like, where is he? There he is, look. Like, they are just can I zoom in? I can't zoom in. They are just the cheekiest. Like, he's really close to me, you can see that, can't you? Like, and he's sitting up now because I think, can I turn the camera around? I really do for my video, but this is how close the squirrel is, and how the squirrel really doesn't care. Like, he's got like a serious attitude problem, hasn't he? But I was walking earlier in the park, and one actually just ran up to me. There's another one coming now, running across. Like, they run towards humans rather than away from humans, like Yorkshire squirrels run away from humans. Anyway, complete distraction there, but amusing one anyway. You know, I like to share my little ponderings on nature too. So there's I think your relationships are such a powerful place to really see the truth of ourselves and see what we're focusing on, or, you know, to see things. And I think as well they are a play out, you know, of all the past relationships we've ever had. You know, when I thought about not being listened to, I think, you know, as a Gen Xer brought up in the 70s and 80s, children, you know, we weren't quite you must be seen and not heard, but not far off. And I didn't like it then. Like, I was that kid whose parents, you know, would have like a party and they'd have all their friends over, and all the other kids, the parents would be sitting downstairs, probably drinking a lot of alcohol, and the children would be upstairs, but not me. Not me. I was never upstairs. I was always downstairs with the adults. Like, I didn't like the idea that they might have been not ready to hear my viewpoints, and that's from being quite young. I didn't want to be up with the children. I wanted to be around the adults. It's really interesting, but it seemed that, like, and I don't want you to get too obsessed with the past with this. This is about light-heartedly going, yep, that's interesting. That's a little thing I seem to be done. You know, you don't need to think, oh, and I've got to go back and heal it. The healing is in the new relationship. And that's why, you know, often it's, you know, people step out of relationships, or, you know, I know some women who have just gone, I'm not doing this, and I'm just not doing relationships at all. Whereas for me, they are the greatest teacher, and therefore the healer, really, because the real healing happens in our lives. So when we start to notice something like I was noticing around being listened to, our job really is to ask some of those questions. You know, where am I? What's my equivalent? Where am I this in my life? Where am I doing it to other people, or where am I doing it to myself? And I think that's really powerful. The other thing that I wanted to talk about today is you know, back to my you know, stuck record job, which is the body, like being in the body. Not realising that the body is there to let us know about what we're believing that isn't true, and where we are in separation from another, and in relationships, of course. That is it's powerful to see. So definitely a sense of, when we're navigating our relationships, I'm just going to sit on a dry bench, fairly dry bench. Yeah, when we're navigating our relationships, that we really do get into the body. Like, I've just recently made a course for Insight Timer about parenting, and a thread that came through the entire session, the entire course, was around the pause. That, you know, how often our children, who are just fabulous little mirrors for our, you know, that if we can really go, yeah, I don't like this in my child. Yeah, well, they're a mirror. You know, that's a great place to look. All the way through my course, it was just a pause. Like, I'm about to pause, feel what's in the body, give yourself a moment, take a breath, whatever it is. It's probably the only tool that I recommend, really, but it is about doing it in that moment. Just, you know, taking a breath, pausing. Yeah. And then, you know, noticing how then there's just a different connection to be made with that person. a more authentic connection. And for me, authenticity is about really seeing this oneness, really seeing the connectedness between us. And it's really powerful. So I hope that's been a helpful little amble there through some stuff about relationships. I've got many courses actually about relationships that you could check out, currently on Insight Timer, but might be somewhere else at some point in the future, because I think it's huge. I think it's just such a massive part of our lives, isn't it? And really, aren't we just in relationship with everything? Like, you know, I was in relationship with a squirrel a few minutes ago. We're in relationship with ourselves, we're in relationship with others, we're in relationship with our job, our business, our life, everything. There is some kind of interaction going on. So if we can kind of see that everything is teaching us, everything is there to heal us, nothing is really, you know, anything other than that. That is really powerful. So thank you for checking this out. And yeah, it's beautiful here today actually. Getting near the end of October and I'm in a t-shirt. Check me out. It's lovely. Okay, my darlings, thank you so much. Take care. Lots of love. Oh, you might want to like and follow and all that shenanigans. Bye.